It's cold. So cold. As we dive into this explainer of Wagnerian myth, I want you to step into the role of an observer with me. We're weary chroniclers documenting the final, crumbling days of the gods. This isn't your standard mythology lesson. It's a grim, dark, gothic fable. We're literally peering into a world that's already dead, it just hasn't stopped moving yet.
Vultures are veering, Valhalla is void. Just feel the absolute hopelessness in those words. I want to instantly plunge you into this freezing, breathless atmosphere of a world teetering on the brink of collapse. Goldlust has completely taken over, ancient treaties are failing left and right, and the sky itself feels unbearably heavy with impending doom.
This is Fimbulwinter, the legendary, brutal winter signaling the apocalyptic end times. You can practically see the frost biting at the very edges of the horizon, strangling the warmth right out of the earth. The golden light of the divine realm is fading into this sickly, bruised gray. Picture Freo, the god of spring, trembling uncontrollably as the great rainbow bridge, the path to the heavens, groans, splinters, and cracks under the weight of the coming storm.
And the wild part? This grim progression was prophesied long ago by the earth goddess Urda. 1 age ago, Wotan allowed Goldlust infect the world. A century ago, Yggdrasil, the great world ash tree, began a silent, irreversible decay. Fast forward to a decade ago, and giants start rumbling in the east. Then, just 1 day ago, Valhalla's defenses finally fractured. It's a somber reminder of the absolute futility of gods trying to stall their inevitable end. You just can't negotiate with the apocalypse.
Section 1. Wotan's Splintered Spear, the Failure of Law.
Listen to the aggressive, biting rhythm of this authentic Staubberian verse. This is the voice of Donner, the god of thunder. Silent the spear shaft, shattered the signs. Law is but lies, loose is the light. Bonds are but brittle, broken by blows. Notice those heavy, spitting consonants, the S, the L's, the B's. They perfectly capture Donner's unvarnished, utter contempt for Wotan's political maneuvering and broken laws.
Imagine this bitter clash echoing through the freezing halls. Wotan, exhausted, leaning on his splintering spear, pleading, "The runes bind us, Donar. Diplomacy and law are all that hold the giants at bay." And Donar, gripping his hammer, raw elemental power literally radiating from his skin, he bellows back, "Your bonds are brittle, your laws are lies. The only truth left is the thunder." Wotan is desperately clinging to compromised pieces of paper, while Donar is craving a cleansing, violent strike.
Section 2. Loge and the Rot, the Poisoned Ash. So we have to look past Wotan's external political failures and focus on the internal venom quietly killing this world from the inside. Look at this deep, mirroring duality. You've got the biological rot of Yggdrasil directly reflecting the political rot of the gods. Loge, the trickster, this figure of laughing betrayal, is the walking, talking manifestation of the gold-lust Wotan let in. Just as the ash tree is withered by poisoned roots, the gods are completely corrupted by their own treaties. Loge is internal instability made flesh.
Rotting the root, rank is the rain. Gold greed and guilt gather in gloom. I mean, paint that bleak visual in your mind. Thick, black ichor dripping from the roots of the world tree. Dornar looks at this and is just absolutely disgusted. For the god of thunder, this quiet, agonizing decay, this slow death by corruption and greed, is far worse, way more loathsome than dying in battle.
Section 3. Donner Contrasted, the Apocalyptic Force.
Now, you might be familiar with the traditional Norse god Thor, right? The giant-slaying warrior, the steadfast protector of mankind. Well, this explainer's version, the Wagnerian Donar, is a completely different beast. He's an apocalyptic force of pure, raw nature. He doesn't want to protect corrupt foundations. He's so completely disgusted by the politics and deceit that he just wants to violently smash them to pieces.
Section 4. The Giant's Gate, the Encroaching Doom. Time is up. The dwarf's slow-moving venom has worked its way through the roots, and the mountain giants have finally reached the frozen gates. Grinding the giants, grim is their gait. Mountains are moving, mired in mist. Fierce is the fire, fearless the foe. Picture Donar standing on the battlements. His grip tightens. Through the blinding mist of Fimbulwinter, the mountains themselves seem to uproot and march forward. The doom is here. And this brings us to the core philosophical clash of this entire fable. Wotan's approach? desperate stalling, trying to negotiate with the end of the world using broken runes and fading diplomacy. Donar's approach, meeting the apocalypse head-on with elemental fury. He's basically asking, why prolong the sickness? Why let the rot win?
Section 5. The Thunder's Truth. The Final Blow.
This is the climax. This is the moment Donar decides that if Valhalla has to fall, it won't be claimed by deceit or by giants or the slow rot of gold lust. It will be destroyed by the gods themselves. This is Götterdämmerung, the twilight of the gods, yes, but more importantly, a final, violent purging of a corrupted world. Donar chooses a kingly crash, pulling the sky down upon their heads rather than suffocating under Wotan's broken laws.
You can really feel the explosive energy in this final decision. Truth is the thunder, tearing the tomb, shatter the shadows, shake the sky hall, killing the cold, kingly the crash. Imagine the deafening roar as the sky hall, metaphorically and maybe literally, shatters. The thunder isn't just weather here, it's the truth. It's raw, untamed nature ripping down a decaying political structure Wotan built.
Even the language of this world mirrors its violent end. Staybrame. This authentic, Wagnerian alliterative verse uses short, punchy lines and heavily stressed starting consonants. There are no delicate, pretty endings or rhyming poetry here. The brutal, uncompromising structure perfectly reflects Donar's raw, violent ethos. The medium itself is a weapon. So, as the dust settles and the chilling silence of Fimbulwinter reclaims the void, I leave you standing beside me in the ruins with this question. If the foundations of your world were rotting from within, infected by greed and broken promises, what would you do? Would you be Wotan, desperately clinging to the failing runes of order? Or would you be Donar, ready to summon the cleansing thunder and violently wash it all away?